Rock and roll, everybody, rock and roll. All right,
now,
man.
this is Damon from the Predatory Lenders Ferengi Bureau. Well, we're talking to folks about entertainment. Now, recently, Charlie Sheen over at CBS has had quite a bit of controversy, and he's not able to do some of his shows. Now, what do you think of Charlie Sheen's current activities?
Well, I tell you, man, Charlie Sheen are got the same kind of personality. We both like to go out there and do whatever the hell we want to do. You know what I mean? There's not too much stopping you when you're at the top of the food chain. And so Charlie Sheen just having a great time. And I'll tell you, every time Charlie Sheen gets in the paper, he's worth more money. That was a lot of the same thing that I was doing back in the 50s and 60s. The more they talked about it, the more money I was worth. So it's kind of like the press is almost encouraging him to do more things because they're the ones that tell everybody that he's doing these things and making more money. So he keeps doing them so he can make more money. So, you know, where does it stop? Finally, I guess you have to hit a ceiling, and so he's hit his ceiling a couple times. But then once he comes down a little bit, he'll inflate himself back up again. Why? Because the press will, and he'll be making more money for that reason. So to him, it's a benefit to actually be in the press, good or bad.
Now, what do you think of parent companies CBS and Time Warner, those two companies with his show going on? Will they suffer or benefit from this?
Oh, they'll all benefit because now, you know, when he comes back, everybody's going to want to see what's on CBS because before, nobody really cared what the hell's on CBS. I never watched CBS. My antenna, my HD antenna doesn't even get the CBS very good channel. So I usually watch Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 11, other channels, you know, besides CBS. So now I think it's going to draw some attention to them as well. So they're just, you know, trying to say like, hey, I think if they don't say, hey, we got to spank them, then they're like saying, sure, we're encouraging him. But, you know, we're behind it. It's like a promotional thing. But with them saying legally, oh, no, we got to send him to rehab. We're not approving of what he is. That way they get away with not being involved in the promotional part of it. But that's what it all boils down to, is promotion for them, promotion for everybody. Their boy hit the newspapers. That's free promotion, and their television show, and their station. Dude, that's all free promotion CBS can't even pay for, you know, and they can't afford to pay for. And now they're getting it for free. And now when he does come back, they resume filming, he's going to go ahead and be a big hit. Everyone's going to watch, and everybody will start watching some of other CBS's stupid shows that you're going to watch. They're going to position just before and just after his show to try to get some airplay on these shows that they wish made more money. You know what I'm saying? So it's all going to benefit for them and Charlie. And we'll always watch him get drunk, and hopefully it won't hurt anybody. That's the only thing, Charlie. Have all the fun you want, man. Shoot some television, shoot some limousines out, drink all the booze and drink yourself to the hospital, but just don't hurt anybody else. All righty? Rock and roll.
So in closing, I guess that was your closing.
That was my closing, man. Rock and roll! Thank you very much.
From the Predatory Lenders Ferengi Bureau.
All right, man, I got to get back here.
Right.
Make some tourists smile.
Now, this is Damon from the Predatory Lenders Ferengi Bureau. Now, the new Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is out and has its first Russian swimsuit model on us. Now, we're talking to our resident sports analysis, Elmo, here. Now, Elmo, what do you think of Russia having their first swimsuit model on Sports Illustrated?
Hubba. I think she's very hot. I love it. She's very, very pretty, but very sexy in the body. For a long time, Russian women haven't been there. They've been mostly sports figures, but now we got a Sports Illustrated one, and baby, she's the one. Yes.
Now, what do you think about the Russian economy in a whole? Should we be investing in more Russian swimsuit models or more Russian investments in general?
You can never have too many swimsuit models. I don't care what country they're from. The more the merrier. But yes, we should investigate more Russian women in different kind of jobs to see the beauty of them. Yeah, love to see a Russian women construction women calendar.
Okay, so in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
I'd like to say, leave Obama alone. Leave Obama alone. That's from Elmo. Thank you.
Okay, so in closing, this is Damon from the Predatory Lenders Ferengi Bureau. Now, this is Bernie from the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now, recently, someone at the Los Angeles office of the SEC was busted for watching internet porn while on job instead of doing his job, and he overlooked a $500 million Ponzi scheme because he was looking at porn 200 times a week, and he's even tried to bully some of his employees to cover up for him. So we're here talking to some intergalactic employers about porn at the SEC. So, Vader, you being a big intergalactic employer, what do you think of the SEC porn guy in the Los Angeles office?
He needs to be behind bars if he's going to do that sort of thing.
Now, you have several bits of internet at your firm and your business. What are the porn filters like at your company?
We don't have porn at our company. It's completely prohibited.
Now, what would you do if you found one of your employees watching porn at work?
They would be terminated and removed from the Death Star immediately.
Okay, so in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
I'm sorry?
Any last minute things you want to say to the viewers?
That's it. Stay away from porn. Doesn't solve a thing.
So in closing, this is Bernie from the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now this is Bernie Madoff talking to you. Now recently, the Los Angeles office of the SEC had a sex scandal because the supervisor there was looking at porn some 200 times a week instead of doing his job. And he helped overlook a $500 million Ponzi scheme because he was too busy looking at porn instead of doing his job. So we're here talking to a web and internet expert, Spider-Man, because he's the top of the internet and the top of the web, asking him, what do you think of the SEC porn guy in Los Angeles, Spider-Man?
I think not only should he be filed and criminally prosecuted, but because of the scam, that the state should have to pay back the people who have been ripped off after they should have found out about it, and all of his superiors should be fired. That's what Spider-Man thinks.
Now, what are the porn filters like at your business?
We have none, but my business is special. I'm self-employed.
Now, what would you do if you found one of your employees watching porn at work?
I would probably fire them for not inviting me to watch. Spider-Man's just kidding. Just say no to porn. There we go.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
If you have any good porn, mail it to Spider-Man. Bye.
So in closing, this is Bernie Madoff talking to you.
I'm telling you, see that kind of stuff, these people should be automatically fired. His supervisor, whoever's in charge of the computer program, should be fired. 200 times?
A week?
A week. Come on, for how long was this going on?
Oh, and they actually found something like 20% of his co-workers actually doing the same thing.
Perverts! Everybody in that division is a pervert, should be fired. There we have it. Spider-Man, peace out.
Ah.
There we go.
This is Graham Kukoth. I'm the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now on the real estate beat, mortgage rates are at several months or several year high right now, and the Fed funds rate has been at a historic low at 0.25% for the last 2 years, yet mortgage rates are up in the 5 to 6% range at historic highs. So we're asking folks, what do you think of the record high mortgage rates while the Fed's low money? What do you think of the record high mortgage rates while the Fed is loaning money to the banks at record lows? So Superman, what do you think of that?
I think it's theft. And I think we should go after the banks for this. You know, because basically they're charging people an outrageous amount, you know, on any type of loans that they... I think that it's outrageous that the banks are going to charge these outrageous rates for loaning people cash and stuff. And then they're going to turn around and tell the government, hey, we don't have money. We need you to give us some money, you know, so that we can keep our banks open. It's not right. If you guys out there are looking to buy a house or anything like that, I'm going to tell you to go and find stuff that's got a tax lien on it, because you don't have to pay the banks. You know, you just pay the government what is owed on the house, and you're free and clear.
With the banks making all this kind of money, is it a good time to invest in bank stocks?
I would say no. It's not a good time to invest in bank stocks. But however, I would say that right now is a great time to start investing in property.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Keep it safe, keep it strong, and watch all the thieves out there, because we will report on you.
So in closing, this is Graham Kukoth on the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. This is Grant Kukow from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, mortgage rates have been at historic highs right now, up in there in the 5 to 6% range. Yet the Fed has been loaning money to the banks at 0.25% for the last 2 years. So with banks having record profits right now and their bank rates being so high, what do you think of the record high mortgage rates while the Fed is loaning money to banks at record low rates?
Well, I think that people are generally getting screwed left and right, and the banks are making so much money, it's ridiculous. There's a bank branch opening on practically every corner, while other small businesses are going out of business, so banks can open up, which of course costs a lot of money to open up a new branch, and they're opening them everywhere. So obviously they're making a huge profit while people are becoming homeless, having to move into apartments, and just it's crazy. It's not fair, and the government, as usual, is just screwing the public, and they think that they're helping somebody, but they're not helping anybody. Like, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Now, with all this going on, do you think it's a good time to invest in bank stocks?
I don't think it's a good time to do much with banks at all, really, but I mean, obviously, maybe it is a good time. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't do it, no.
Okay, so in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
I just wish that the president, the government, and everybody would worry a little bit more about what's going on with the people in this country and concentrate a little bit more on topics that aren't that important, and make sure that our own country is well fed, everybody's making money, and helping the economy, which they're not doing.
So in closing, this is Grant Kukow talking to you. Now this is Grant Kukow from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now the Fed has been loaning money to the... This is Grant Kukow from the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now the Fed has been loaning money to the banks at record low rates for the last 2 years. And yet mortgage rates are coming up near historic highs. So we're asking folks, what do you think of the record high mortgage rates while the Fed is loaning money to banks at record lows? So Michael, what do you think of that?
Well, I think people are being ripped off. I mean, it's just, I don't like the increase of the record rates. I think they need to lower it back to how it was before.
Now, with all this money that the banks are making, do you think it's a good time to invest in bank stocks?
Not right now. Not right now. Oh, you can, because your points will go up, but I'd say give it probably another 2.5 years.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
I love you, everybody.
So in closing, this is Grant Kukow from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. This is Grant Kukow from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now the Fed funds rate has been at 0.25% for the last 2 years, meaning that the banks have been getting money at 0.25% for the last 2 years. But recently, mortgage rates are coming near historic highs. So Marilyn, what do you think of these record high mortgage rates while the banks are getting low money interest from the government?
2 reasons. The first one being the banks are trying to cover their ass, take in a little money and take advantage of people. Second thing, for investors who are going into the banks, they want more people to be renting houses, so it's harder for them to be making these payments. So they're trying to get people out, keep them renting.
So with all this going on, is it a good time to invest in bank stocks?
In bank stocks, yes. And if you're in real estate, you know, if you can afford it, get in. There's a lot of people renting.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Nope.
Now this is Bernie from the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now recently, at the Los Angeles office of the SEC, their supervisor was busy looking at porn instead of doing his job, and he overlooked a $500 million Ponzi scheme. So we're asking major employers throughout the galaxy, we're asking Bruce Wayne from Wayne Technology, what do you think of the SEC porn guy in the LA office?
Well, for one, me being an employer of a major company, he should have, for one, been doing his job when he was supposed to, instead of being on the internet when he wasn't supposed to. That's one thing with my company. I always make sure that my employees always do their work first, then play later.
Now, what are the porn filters like at your company? Can you come a little closer to this one? What are the porn filters like at your company?
Pretty strong, I think. We have high maximum security on a lot of the computers to make sure people don't get into things they're not supposed to. Make sure things that they're supposed to be doing on job is supposed to be the things they're supposed to be doing on their job and not other things.
And what would you do if you found one of your employees watching porn at work?
First, for one, I'd be asking them, what are you doing? Ain't you supposed to be doing your job? If they've done their job, I'll say, ain't you supposed to be doing that at home? Leave business for business and private for private.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Well, all I gotta say is, if you are employed by a major company, make sure you do what you need to do at first, is the one thing. Make sure you get your job done, then have some fun. Two, if you're gonna be doing something like watching porn or doing your own personal thing at work, don't. It's best to save that for at home so other people can't see what you're doing. In case you want to get on your email or something like that, all it takes is somebody looking over your shoulder and they have your address. That's another way for people to get their info stolen.
So in closing, this is Grant Kukat. So in closing, this is Bernie from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. This is Thor's Garden coming to you. Now, agriculture and commodity prices have been running throughout the galaxy, so we're asking major employers and farm and agricultural companies throughout the galaxy, what do you think of the high commodity prices here at Wayne Tech?
It's getting a little expensive. I wish they would kind of come down on the prices and stuff. We at Wayne Enterprises are trying new things to make things cheaper if possible, but with the way everything's running up lately, it's not been that easy. And I think we probably may have lost some customers to it as well.
I think you're getting all this. Now, do you think farm subsidies help or hurt the consumer?
And I think it kind of hurts them, but also at the same time it does help a little. But if you were to even out the odds, I think it hurts more than it helps. The reason being that the farmers themselves then have to spend money as well, which is the money that they can't really afford as well, and that's what makes the prices go up on everything that we have now these days. Because now the farmers are asking for more for the product, and the companies have to ask for more.
Now, what do you think of biofuels? What do you think of biofuels? Should we be using food for fuel?
Some things, yes, but we should also make sure that people get to eat as well. I'm a big thing on the green thing at Wayne Tech. We always try to figure out new ways to use fuels, less pollutant, is I guess the right term. Make sure that it's safer for the regular everyday people, such as gas and oils and stuff like that. We know that leaves a lot of smog from tests and stuff at Wayne Enterprises. And we have been looking into new ways to make sure, such as corn oil, stuff like that, works better and also keeps the air cleaner.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
All I can say is try your best. It might be a tough situation right now, but keep going, try your hardest. For the farmers, keep up the good work. And for all those other people, just try to do what you can.
Okay, so in closing, this is Thor from Thor's Garden talking to you. Okay, this is Thor's Garden coming to you. Now, on Earth, we've had quite a bit of details with high commodity prices today. So we're talking to one of our resident farm experts, Clark Kent. Now, Superman, what do you think about high commodity prices right now? How's that affecting you at your farm?
Well, it's not affecting us. We're making all the money. We're growing this stuff. But in actuality, I think that on the market, with today's economy and everything, I think that they should lower the prices. People are going to discount stores and stuff like that due to the fact that there are a lot of high prices on a lot of the stuff, especially meats.
Now, do you think farm subsidies are a good thing for, I know they're a good thing for the farmers, but are they a good thing for the consumers?
I don't think so. I think that it is good for the farmers, but it's not good for the consumers. When it comes to stuff like that, we go out, we want to buy stuff that is 100% real. If we're going out and we're buying beef, we want 100% real beef. We don't want something that's got chemicals in it, something that's factory made. And there's a lot of that stuff out there.
really see with one eye, so I think I might.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I only got one eye. So I can't really see what's going on. Where is my other eye?
It's down. Down. Here. There you go.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay.
Alright, I couldn't see. Okay.
All right. So we just talked about adding stuff to the meats and stuff.
Okay. Now, what do you think about biofuels? Should we be using the food that we eat for ethanol and other things like that? Should we be using food for fuel?
Well, if you're talking about using food for fuel, if you could find a way to make it work, then yes, definitely. You know, because that would also save on environmental stuff, you know. When we burn actual gas, we're putting fumes into the air, and that's destroying our universe, you know. Where we live is our universe, all right? We're destroying our ozone layer with chemicals that we're putting into the air, such as gas fumes that are coming out of these cars, out of the buses, out of the trucks, out of the factories. And if we were running it on biodegradable stuff, I think that it would be very green for everybody.
So in closing, is there any last minute thing you'd like to say to the viewers?
Keep our streets clean, safe, and remember, folks, watch your money and watch what you're buying.
So in closing, this is Thor from Thor's Garden. Now, this is Bernie Madoff from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, recently, the head of the Los Angeles office of the SEC was too busy watching porn to be doing his job. So he overlooked Recently, the head of the Los Angeles office of the SEC was too busy looking at internet porn instead of doing his job. So he overlooked a $500 million Ponzi scheme, milking investors for billions of dollars. So we're asking folks throughout the galaxy what they think of this. So we're with some fellow law enforcement officers around my cell, and we're asking Sergeant Sexy here, what do you think of the SEC porn guy out of the Los Angeles office?
I think anytime you're wasting your time instead of doing the job that you're paid to do, it's a problem. Whether it's porn, Facebook, there are too many internet distractions in general, and they maybe should have locked his computer so that it could only access what was necessary.
Now, what are the porn filters like at? What are the porn filters like around the cell block around where you work?
We don't have any porn filters, but that's because LAPD does its job and does it well. We can generally be trusted.
Now, what would you do if you caught one of your fellow officers or one of your fellow employees actually looking at porn at work?
I'd report him. I'd make sure that the authorities knew and that this person had retributive action.
Now, do you think this kind of thing actually makes law enforcement or regulatory agencies look bad when they're found out that they do stuff like this?
I mean, porn's porn. People are going to watch it. People perform those acts themselves, and I really don't think that they need to be judged specifically for watching porn. I think it's really an issue of doing your job and not wasting taxpayers' money.
Did you have anything else? So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
That's it. I'm good.
Okay, so in closing, this is Bernie Madoff talking to you. Now, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Let me get a little shorter so I can get... Now, it's Valentine's Day here on planet Earth, and we're asking folks about love and romance. So we're here with Sergeant Sexy, talking to her about her partners at the cell block. Now, how did you meet your partner?
Deputy Lust. Deputy Lust and I met when she was working another beat, and I charmed her over into my side to put on the blues.
Okay. Now, what do you think is the future of online dating?
You know, I'm thinking about making myself a page for online dating. I had been on a site once before, and it had actually kind of worked out for me, but I've been single for a while now, and I may just try that again. We'll see.
Any particular sites?
I had been on True.com. I've heard good things about OkCupid, so I think I might try that.
And what kind of things are you buying this Valentine's Day for your partner?
Well, I'm single, so I just bought myself lingerie and some Daniel Craig movies, and I'm gonna seduce myself.
Okay, I could probably say something. So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the viewers?
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
So in closing, this is Jar Barn from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you.